All setup of the Logger Pro and the computers, you need to have the following. You have a LabQuest. In the box should be a power supply and a cord that's got USB. You're going to try to hooking it up to your computer. You're also going to need to have the cup and the styrofoam cups combination and a temperature probe, all hooked up to a ring stand. So to start this, first thing you need to do is obviously plug the cord into the power supply and plug that into the Logger Pro. So on this side, on the right hand side, there's a spot down here to plug that into. Then you need to hook the Logger Pro or the LabQuest to your computer. So you're going to take the plug that's not the USB in, and you're going to plug that into the same side that the power is on, and plug that in the only place it'll fit. And then take the other end, it's going to hook up to your computer, your personal computer, one of the people in your group, and plug it into your USB port. You'll find a USB port, though. There we go. Okay. Last thing you need is you need to take the temperature probe, and you're going to plug that into channel number 1. So on this side, you have the 3 channels, and you're going to plug that into channel number 1. And then you're ready to collect data. And then you're going to follow the directions as I shared. You're going to follow the directions on how to open up Logger Pro on the computer. That's it.
Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to open and start the software for the Logger Pro for the Hess's Law Lab. You can see I have way too many icons on my screen. You probably have a whole lot less. But I have in this lower left-hand corner, and you're going to look for something that looks like this, is Logger Pro 3.15. I'm going to double-click that, and it's going to bring up the software to run the LabQuests. If you have the temperature probe hooked up, like I do, you'll see a temperature. If you don't, then once you do plug in the temperature probe into your LabQuest, I'll show you earlier, and you'll go ahead and see the temperature. What you want to do is go under File Open. So I'm going to open this file right here. And you should come up with a screen that looks like this with a whole bunch of choices under the experiment. You want to go down to the one that I have highlighted here, Chemistry with Vernier, not Advanced Chemistry with Vernier, Chemistry with Vernier. Double click that. And then go down and find the Hess's Law Lab. And there it is, number 18, Hess's Law. Double click that, and it'll open it up. Now you'll start being able to collect data for the Hess's Law Lab directly from your LabQuest. See, this is additivity of reactions, Hess's Law. In a second, when we collect data, it'll show up on here. That's it.
The following materials you're going to need: a balance, 3 solutions, a 1 molar sodium hydroxide solution, a 0.5 molar hydrochloric acid solution, and a 1.0 molar hydrochloric acid solution. You'll also need sodium hydroxide pellets and a graduated cylinder, and then this setup. So for this first trial, we're going to take a graduated cylinder. We're going to have 100 mils of water, DI water. Okay, I want to make sure that that's the appropriate amount. Good. And you're going to add that 100 milliliters of water to your coffee cup. Okay. Next, I need to take 2 grams of the sodium hydroxide pellets measured on a balance. I'm going to do that. And then record the amount. I have 2.07 grams. So I have the 100 mils of water in my cup. I'm going to go ahead and start my LabQuest. So first I'm going to set up so I can record the screen. Okay, MapQuest. Record screen. Share. Okay, so I have two places where I'm being recorded. One is on the Hess's Law Lab on my computer, and one is here. So I have 100 mils of water in here. I'm going to start to collect the data. Hit collect. Let it collect for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to dump the sodium hydroxide pellets into water, all of them, and then stir. You want to stir until the temperature of the water increases and stays at a higher temperature. You can see on the graph the temperature is increasing. All the pellets that are in this styrofoam cup need to dissolve. So just keep stirring. You'll get to a point where the styrofoam cup will no longer have sodium hydroxide in it, will no longer have pellets, solid pellets in it, and the temperature will reach a maximum temperature. Patience is key. It does take a while. These pellets are very soluble, but they're not going to want to dissolve very easily. So just keep stirring. Just keep stirring until all the pellets are gone and it reaches a maximum temperature. Still going up. I think that's it. I think we've reached a maximum temperature of 23.2 degrees Celsius. Okay, you can stop that run. When that trial is done, go ahead and rinse everything off. Dump the water, hydrochloric acid down the sink. Rinse your cup. And then dry it. You want to try to get as much of the water out of there as possible because you're going to add more solution. Okay. Okay. So for the second trial, what I'm going to do is instead of adding water this time, I'm going to add 0.5 molar hydrochloric acid. That was my mistake. We're going to add 100 milliliters again. And I fill my graduated cylinder up the top. Okay. Put that solution into the cup. And just like before, we're going to measure at 2 grams of sodium hydroxide. and I got 2.02 grams of sodium hydroxide. So just like before, we're going to take our probe, put it down into the water, or this time the hydrochloric acid. We're going to allow it to get the right temperature. I'm going to start my screen castify. Okay, so we're going to run another trial. I have 100 mils of 0.5 molar hydrochloric acid in here, and I have 2.2 grams of sodium hydroxide. I have an initial temperature of the solution to be 19.4 degrees Celsius. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time. I'm going to dump my sodium hydroxide in there, but first I'm going to start the trial. Okay, I don't want to store the one, I want to erase it and continue. And get a new set of data, and there we go. So dump the stuff in, and stir, just like before. And just like before, we stir until the temperature maxes out. Last time we get to 23 degrees. Let's see what happens this time. Well, already it's climbing a lot faster. There we go, past that 23 degrees. Okay, so that's it, different. Keep stirring. I still have pellets in the bottom, so it's still going to keep getting hotter and hotter. Some in there. Keep stirring until it maxes out, or all the pellets have dissolved. One sole pellet in there. Do that one big one. Keep going. I think that might be it. Any more? Well, there we go, a little bit more. And I think we have a maximum temperature of 29.7 degrees Celsius. So we're going to stop the data. And just like the last one, we're going to clean up the same way. Rinse everything off. Rinse the probe. Rinse the stirring rod. Dump the solution into the sink. Rinse the cup, and then dry. You're going to add two solutions together. I'm going to take 1 molar hydrochloric acid, and I'm going to add 50 milliliters, not the 100 I was adding, add 50 milliliters to my cup. 50 milliliters of hydrochloric acid. Okay, and then I'm going to put my probe down into the solution. Then just to be safe, I'm going to rinse out the graduated cylinder a little bit. Condition it a little bit, because I don't want to have the acid already in there. And then I'm going to have 50 milliliters of the sodium hydroxide. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my 50 milliliters of sodium hydroxide solution, add it to my 50 milliliters of hydrochloric acid. Now for this trial, make sure that you give it plenty of time, like maybe a solid 5 seconds before dumping, because this reaction happens really, really fast. So let me turn on my screen castify. So just like this data, record. data. So I'm going to go ahead and hit record and collect. And again, I'm going to erase what I had before and give it a solid 5 seconds so that it gets the right data. 3, 4, 5, okay. And then very quickly, you're going to dump in and stir. Dump and stir. And it's going to rise really, really fast and equilibrate, come to a temperature, maximum temperature, really, really quickly. And I think I'm already done. Let it go, see if it drops a little bit. Oh, went up another one, another 10th. I think that's it. That's my final temperature. And then the last thing you do is clean up. Clean everything up one last time. Rinse. Rinse. Dump. This time you can just rinse a little bit and let it dry. And that's the lab. All that's left from there is evaluating the data. Hopefully that was helpful. This is the lab we're going to do. It's called the Hess's Law.